My name's Chris Hill. I call myself an addiction advice specialist. The reason I do that is because I now teach people how to escape from addiction. I spent probably over 20 years addicted to drugs. One day my mother-in-law, she gave me a book and I read this book, and for the very first time in my life, after something like 20 years addicted to drugs, there was an answer, and the answer said that when you put an addictive drug into your body, it created a hunger, and then that hunger drove the body and the mind, for me to be doing the things I was doing. On that journey, I learnt a thing called self-talk, and through self-talk, I was actually able to start to train my mind to think something differently. And I knew that that moment, it was like a light bulb moment for me. That's how I overcome, some of the worst addictions. But then, unfortunately, 3 years ago, I actually lost my twin brother to alcohol and drugs. Took too many ecstasy tablets on a night out. I was with him for, the last parts, literally till he took his last breath. I couldn't stand by anymore and allow people to suffer like this. So at that moment, I knew what I had to do, and I committed my life to now helping people that are suffering with addictions. I started to write a book. I wanted to share the story of my life and my brother's life. And then I knew on top of that I needed to start sharing the message. So I started to go on Facebook and start sharing the story around drug addiction, and I opened up some help and support groups. I, a normal person can escape from, heroin, crack cocaine, alcohol, cigarettes, even food like refined sugars, then anybody can do it. They just need someone to hold their hand and say, look, I have walked that journey and I've come out the other side, and and that is my purpose now, and that is my will, and this is the message that I'm trying to spread around the world, that there is an answer, okay, and you can do it through self-help, you can do it through instructions, i.e. we open up a dialogue, we're able to talk to our mind, because this is where our problem resides. It resides here in our mind. It's the constant want and need that comes from our mind and our body that is driving us to do the things we do. And when somebody actually walks away from addiction, it is just the most brilliant, amazing thing. And everybody that comes through the program, everybody that reads my 7-day addiction plan, lives are changed. And it's not just their lives, but it's the lives of their family, their friends. The knock-on effect of addiction, I can't tell you, how much my brother's life, it just destroyed us. Even today, like 3 years on, the pain, we live with so much pain, but and people say, how do you live with that? But I channel it. We channel it now into something good. For every single person that comes out of this, it just brings something special. It means that my brother's life wasn't wasted. His memory will go on, and so will this message. Ready up?
What are you doing? Oh, for God's sake.